Well, good day, everybody. Here we go again. It's the 2nd of February, and strangely enough, we're right on 2 o'clock. It's funny, I wait for the 1 o'clock local time here in France tracker update to get the position, and then by the time I get everything organised, there's the hour gone. I try to do it about now so people can get to expect it's about this time. And I've got some photos back again of the SPARCRAFT mast, and I've got a few little pics of the trailblazers for the Globe 580 Transat, the first edition in 21. There was a few of us having a lot of fun, so we'll just talk about that. Our rear Commodore of the other side, the Globe Yacht Club, our rear Commodore Ayrton has got everything under control in Antigua, waiting for the boats to turn up. So we'll talk about that as well and look at the ETAs and all of those fun, exciting things. So we'll see how we go. G'day, John. You always seem to be the first one there. So that's cool. Anyway, we'll get straight into it and then see how it goes. You know, it's interesting because there's only a couple of people there, but we usually end up with 100 odd people or so on this, but they never quite have the chance to be here when we start because they're only just finding out about it now. But anyway, and so we used to have this sort of 1.5 minute lead in to give everyone a chance to catch up. We're already up to 16, 17, 18, nearly 20 people. There'll be 10,000 by the time we're finished. And so everyone gets to miss the beginning of it. So I'm just waffling on. But anyway, it's Sunday. So I will now see if I hit this one, show in stream, and I should shrink. Look at that. Ooh, jeepers. I got it sussed, but I got McIntyre right over my chin. Anyway, that's cool. So I will come to the tracker now and shrink this down a bit. So I can leave it built up. I just had a quick look at the rowers, but there's still a few out here. There's a few rowers out and about here, some of the singles and bits and pieces, but not many, and there's no real close interaction. They've pretty much sailed in between each other, but I just saw a coloured lady turn up, lady of colour. I forget her name now, in the world's toughest row. Quite an epic when you see what's going on. She's been on the boat by herself for 56 days or something and broke oars, and she broke the rudder on the boat, which is amazing. It's like a composite rudder, and they have a rudder and they have autopilots and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, she snapped the rudder, so she had to go in and fit the spare and make all these repairs. It's really quite cool. So if you haven't followed it, it's just called the world's toughest row. It's worth a look. It's quite cool, you know. And they're around the corner. They're actually in English Harbour. We'll be going around to Falmouth Harbour. And in fact, while we're sitting here waiting for people to turn up, I'll just show you again exactly what's going on. Oh no, I'll go through the tracker first, and then because pretty much a drag race right now. It's been a drag race for some time. I won't say it's boring, but it's not weather issues. You know, it's just okay. How hard's it going to blow? It's all east, and this is something for Josh and Eric. I can show you here. I spoke about it a bit yesterday. The good news is Josh is still heading down. He thought he might have had a gutful and there was a few things going wrong, so he was in a position around about here. This is the other entrance for the MGR. Okay, I'll just show you what they're up against while we're sitting here. Eric left from Cape Canaveral around about here, I think it is. I'm not good on my geography there, but I think Cape Canaveral was around about here in Florida. And he, after about 7 days, he was around about here somewhere, and they had some pretty solid headwinds, but it's still a little bit, it's swinging a bit now, and it's backed off a bit. So Eric's been plodding along. He's a very strong sailor with a proven boat, so that's okay. But Josh is a brand new boat, and he thought he had a few issues, and he was bogged down. He's moved from North Carolina, somewhere up around here, I think it is. I think it might be about here. And so he came down as well. You can follow his tracker from the website. His tracker is working. Eric's tracker is not working at the moment. And he was getting a bit miffed and thought he might go to Florida, but he's going to carry on. The weather's got a bit better. He'll probably be on a port tack leg now, coming down here. But the challenge is this. You can see quite clearly, there's the trades. Here, I'll just put this back. This is pretty straightforward. You've all seen what's happening here. There's always some sort of weather system going on up in this part of the world. But as soon as you get down to, there's 20 degrees south, and at 25 degrees, not south, north, sorry, 25 degrees north of the equator, which is through here. I'm assuming you can see my cursor on these ones because it's not the photos. You've got trade winds, so you're going to have these easterly winds. So as they're coming down, once they get down here somewhere, they'll be hoping for some sort of weather here to distort the trade winds so that they can make it down into Antigua. But you can see it's going to be port tack, fine on the bow. They might do it in one leg, but it's going to be a bit ugly. But they've got plenty of time, and we're really looking forward to seeing both of them in Antigua. We want to see them. They both put in a huge effort to get this far. So fingers crossed on that. Anyway, I digress. Back to the fleet here. So as I was saying, bit of a drag race. They just keep having these beautiful trade winds. This is as good as it gets. It's probably 15 to 20 knots. Maybe blue sky again. Let's have a look at the clouds. Patchy blue sky. This is sort of blue in between here. So temperature's getting warmer. Not too warm probably, but if you're inside, it can get really warm. And generally, as I say, it's as good as it gets. It's what you dream of in the trades. And the first boat, Capuchinet with Renaud on board, he's still not there, and it's never over till the fat lady sings, but it's going to be a pretty impressive timeline, about 22 days and maybe 6 hours or so, which is crazy. That's averaging speeds of, well over 130 mile a day all the way, and for a daily run, and an average speeds of sort of the other side of 5 knots. So that's a hard act to follow. I did it in 28 days, and the winner in our year, 21, Etienne, did it in a couple of days quicker, or not quite 2 days quicker. So he was 26 days. The last edition was, I think, well over 30 days, 32, 33, 34 days to get there. And these guys have nailed it in 22 days. So they've been shortchanged. They haven't had as much fun for their entry fee. But very cool. No complaints yet. Touch wood. Still a long way to go. So to the back of the fleet. And Jasmine is doing 4.4 knots, 109 mile day. Everything seems to be happy on board. Popeye, we put his at sea. Oh, no, it was his boat tour today. Very interesting. And it tells you a bit of the story about Popeye and his tattoos and all that sort of stuff. Nice boat, 2 of them the same, with John up the front, Delja 99. So doing 4.2, 103 mile days. So Jasmine's taken out 6 miles on him, and they'll have their own little race going forward. BB, Jacob, 5.1 knots, 121 mile day. Pretty cool. Again, he's obviously having a good time. Haven't heard a lot, but he's still there, plodding along. Little Ren, probably be disappointed, but at the same time, he's having a nice sail, and he's fixing up those ribs, and I think we'll see a different story when he takes off on the 23rd, but let's wait and see. Boat must be good. We haven't heard any adverse reports at all anywhere. So 128 mile day, 5.3 knots. Then we get down to Argo and Holiday Dan. Argo's still chuffing all over the ocean. He never quite a straight line. You can see some of these. You look at Renaud, the pink one, really straight, boom, boom, boom. But others will be boom, boom, boom. So he's right up there, 5.9 knots and 135 mile day. So he's definitely taken out stuff on a mortal gain. Then about, 6, 7, 8 miles in the day. Mortal gain, Holiday Dan's 5.7 knots and 127 mile day. Pretty cool. John, the kid with his old man behind, 5.8 knots, 137 mile day. He's putting the pedal to the metal and really hooting along, but he won't catch Peter Punt in the short time he's got left. But nonetheless, he's up there with the group, and he'll probably be chucking all his gear out of the boat. It sounds like he's got a competitive instinct now, and making the boat as light as he can. And he'll just say, "Oh no, I wasn't racing in the transatlantic. That was just a trial run. Watch out for the next leg." Peter Punt, right there, 5.3, 126 mile day. Peela's there. Everyone's asking the question, is she going to continue? We really hope so. And Little B doing his physiotherapy on board the boat via remote control on the sat phone to try and make his back more flexible and all those sorts of things. doing quite well. 6 knots in the last 4 hours, so things must be working. And he's got 222 miles to go. That'll all show up. Now when we get to the leaderboard, it's getting reasonably accurate because the weather's going to be consistent, the sea's going to be consistent. So the boat speeds they've got, I think we'll find their ETAs are going to be close to realistic, maybe a few hours after, but anyway, close stuff. So that's not bad. Then as we move forward, we're up at the sharp end of the fleet, biggest monkey, trying hard, but at the moment not hard enough by the look. 5.6 knots, 136 mile day. It'll be interesting to look back, and in fact tomorrow, once we get the first one in, I usually run the video of all the boats right the way from the start to here. I'll do a replay and we can watch all the various ramifications. So 145 miles to go, and he's done 136 miles. So sometime shortly after now, tomorrow, if that makes sense, in about a bit over 24 hours, we'll see biggest monkey coming in. So that's Monday morning by the look, local time over the other side. So he'll be a happy chap, and he'll probably be thinking, oh, jeepers, because now it's all over. It's nearly all over for him. And he's selling the boat, so it looks like it must be a cool boat. So Origami, 5.1 knots, 133 mile day. I think there'll be some stories there. Looking forward to chatting with him, and I wish I was there when he hit the dock, but I'm not going to be there. So that's how the cookie crumbles, sadly. Capuchinet, Renaud, 5.9 knots, 134 mile day. So he's been consistently pulling miles out of Origami, but only 1 mile in the last 24 hours. But that's all it takes. He's kept other people at bay. I know Renaud well enough to say, oh, it wasn't that bad. I just let the wind vane steer, and it just, kept cooking and having a nice time and cruising. But deep down, he's probably working very hard. I think he'd have to be to stay there where he is. But he knows his boat. He's a long-time sailor, and he's done pretty well. But touch wood, not there yet. At 12 o'clock, he had 40 miles to go. So that's what we call spitting distance when you get that close. So he's as good as there. He'll be combing his hair and trimming his beard and having a shower, using up all the last water. He's probably dumping water now. He'll be dumping weight to go faster. A few of them might try that. I know. Anyway, it's part of the course. So let's just open this up just to remind everyone where the finish line is and what the process is here for when Renaud gets there and the others to follow. Urchin, the Rear Commodore of the Globe Yacht Club, has already been in touch and seen customs and all that sort of stuff, and they fortunately approved the process that they can cross the finish line, proceed around to Falmouth Harbour, the next one, tie up at the marina, and then make their own way to clear customs tomorrow, which is hugely beneficial because sometimes in the past you've got to sit on your boat until they come to meet you, and that can be pretty cruel because you've been at sea for, well, these guys only 22 days, and they'd like to have a shower, they'd like to buy a hamburger and get a beer and all that sort of stuff, or a Coke or something, and you've got to sit there and wait. But they've given approval apparently to hang loose, come and see them tomorrow and clear in the morning. So that's kind of cool. So here's the finish line, and that line is based on the lead lights here. So at night time, you line up the two lead lights, and as they sail past, they will take their own time. We'll get a time off the tracker. You'll see that. The tracker positions will speed up. In fact, they're already increasing for Renaud as we speak, and we get the time off there. Then they come around here. This is Falmouth Harbour over here. This is English Harbour in here. There's a really tricky little reef there. There might be quite a few anchored boats in here in the peak season, and it's pretty much that right now. There's boats all anchored here, and if I pick that up one more time, you can see, or two more times, you can see, come on, here it is. We live over here. This is the National Sailing Academy, which is our host for the next few weeks, which is fantastic of them. There's a little marina here. So the boats will come into Falmouth Bay, and they'll come down the side of this one because there's a reef here. The side of this marina, there's be a lot of boats on here, and then they come along the shore and come to the marina and meet up with the boys and all that sort of stuff. So that's what's going on there. And I can walk you around while you're there, just for those people that don't know. This is English Harbour here. It's got huge history and stuff. And in the old, I call it not the old fort, but the old naval base, there is everything's in here. It's quite a historic place. It's really, classic sort of old time seaport from hundreds of years ago. Lots of interesting stories, and customs is in there. So they walk around, take about 20 minutes to walk around to customs and go from there. Okay, so we'll bring that back, and then we'll let's check out the leaderboard here. It's up. Origami's gone down. Maybe that's why he's so far behind. Nope. His tracker last position. Hang on a sec. That's showing. Okay, so his boat position is okay, but I'm just going to check this. Boat position is okay, but it just hasn't translated to the leaderboard. Where is it? Boom, Origami. Oh no, that's 8 o'clock position. Okay, so that puts him 4 hours. It's quite a lot closer than that. That's not the latest current position of the tracker. It's only missed 4 hours. It's just a glitch, so everything will be fine. The weather's good, touch wood, and we haven't heard anything else. So this is still probably current for an ETA in the grey area. 22 days. Like I said, blah blah blah. So the 3rd. At around about 1 o'clock in the morning. I made an estimate this morning. I worked out my numbers and I checked them on the leaderboard, and they're only about an hour out. So we're using a combination of that. So you're probably seeing the post that I put up below this anyway. Biggest Monkey is showing 3rd of February at about 1400 hours probably. That's crossing the line, and you can easily spend an hour and a half after you cross the line. Just keep sailing into Falmouth Harbour. Drop your sails, get the engine cranked up or sail in a bit more and things like that. It'll easily be an hour and a half or so before they get back to the marina. Biggest Monkey, then we've got Little B, 6 o'clock in the morning, and this is UTC as well. So 6 o'clock in the morning is about 5 hours or 4 hours behind UTC. So you can work out your own local time, whether it's day or night and so on. And so we go Peter Punk. Hopefully, looks like Jane and I, sadly, are going to miss the first 5 boats, including Pila, which is a bit sad. But anyway, then it's John and the boys, Immortal Gain on the 5th. And so it goes right down through. BB about the 6th. Popeye late on the 9th, and Jasmine on the 9th as well. So not too far away. It's a week, a bit over a week. Okay, that's all I've got on that one. So I'll come back here, and if I'm lucky, if I hide that one and then come into this one, I'll just show you what's going on. That's number 2, and that's Etienne. That was this was the Trailblazers. You all know the boat. Jasmine's got it. Etienne's a guy from Switzerland. He knocked it off, and then we all had a great time. It was quite crazy indeed. So I'll just roll this through. I forget that. That's me. Just to let you know, they've got one. Is that still working, Jane? Oh, 2 Swiss winning. Oh, you're right. Oh, Jane just pointed out the fact that the Swiss took it out in 21, and the Swiss are going to take it out in 25. There you go. Okay, so this is just to point out we only get 1 bottle of bubbly for the first boat home. Okay, it'll be a cheap bottle of bubbly as well because no one drinks it. Boom. In fact, there was a standing joke in the Ocean Globe race. I just flatly refused to buy 30, 40 euro bottles of bubbly to piss it up over the wall and just shake it and not touch it. So we used to let's just say we would buy economic bottles of bubbly. We'd often do a bubble test, like destroy 1 bottle just to make sure at that price it had bubbles, and then we'd stick OGR labels over the top of the label. And it was fantastic. so anyway, so there'll be 1 bottle of bubbly for the winner, and the others could have anything. Could be a beer, could be a coconut. I got a coconut when I arrived, and so on. So all part of the fun of being human stories, put it that way. Okay, so that's enough of that. That was me when I arrived. There's Michael on Ironman. He's a hot sailor. He's really seriously trying to get into the Vendée Globe now. He's been doing a lot of racing A lot of high performance stuff. He takes people out sailing and training and all that sort of stuff. Great guy. It's a great little movie that we've promoted a few times. They did. Had a really good guide. Cameraman did the 20-minute movie. If you haven't seen it, have a look. It's worth a look. On that, sadly, the film, the epic feature film, which goes for an hour and a half, called Meraki, has been taken offline. And I think I know why, but it's been fun having the ability to watch it. There was 170,000 people watched the film. So if you've missed out for good, because it's been taken offline, which is a good thing, because it means the producers may have actually sold it. They may have got a distributor or something, because it was a great film, but sadly no one can see it again now. It's been offline for a few days. And it really is a great story. Good filmmakers, great storyteller. I've got to say, it was for anyone. You didn't have to be a sailor, but it was a really good. So I hope you all got to see that. And then the other, so Miko came second. This is Jim from Ireland inside his little machine there, which is now being bought by a young guy in Holland, Tom. And he had hoped to do the MGR, but he's still just out of uni and all that stuff and didn't quite get the budget together. So he still got the boat. So that was the 5 of us. It was me, Jim. Oh, no, hang on a sec. Oh, jeepers. I'm in trouble. Here we go. And Pete on origami. So there you go. Pete was a classic. He turns up and his eyes nearly fell out of his head. He had to get medevaced eventually. So he finished the race. Just behind me, we had a good tussle. You know, the two, Pete and I, had a good tussle across. He's made a great movie that we've spoken about before. Great guy. He was at the start. You would have seen him on the lives. He was our drone operator. Anyway, finished, and then they sailed the boat down to Guadeloupe to ship it out. And as he's sailing into Guadeloupe, he had a problem, and it turned into a serious problem. And he was literally within spitting distance of where he was going. You could see where he was. Well, that's not a pun either. He knew where he was going. He was very close. It was only like 5 miles out. And he's speaking to the guys at the Coast Guard with the medical problem he had with his eye. And they relayed that back to the doctors, you know, and they said he's got to get off the boat immediately. So they flew a helicopter out straight away. The Coast Guard came out at the same time. The Coast Guard arrived just before the helicopter. They put a line on the boat. The helicopter came, medevaced him out, took him straight to hospital, and they did the numbers on his eye, but he was on the verge of having a serious problem. Unfortunately, he's back to normal. As crazy as ever. Silly Pom, you know, England, all that sort of stuff. So we had a great time. So that I just thought we'd review that and talk about the beginning of this whole thing. So this is the 3rd one, about to start concluding with boats coming in one after the other, touch wood. They've still got a way to go, but it was a lot of fun. The next thing I'm going to do is just, I'll hide that one now. And I'll put, no, don't tell me, cheapest, they were just there a minute ago. Here we go. Put in this is the SPARCRAFT mast. I thought I had this picture file up, and I got it when people were saying, oh, the pictures are on Facebook. I only put a couple of pictures beside the spreader issue just to show you the difference. And this is, so this is one of the pictures that was on Facebook. It's got a massive bar that goes right through the mast, both sides. It extends out twice the distance out of a Selden one. It's got the 2 locating pins there, strengthening parts on the rig and so on. And the other difference is I didn't want to have a bar of any of the T-ball fittings, roll swages and stuff. So we've got all very traditional 3 bolts, reinforcing toggles here, and it's quite substantial. So we're happy with that. This is the difference in the spline as well, the sleeve. You can see the massive engineering here. This is the internal component, the bit, oh, you can't see my cursor, but the bit you're looking at there is the internal bit that the other part of the mast is going to slip over the top of this. You undo those screws into the flat bars. So those flat bars are screw points. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6 of those flat bars. Or is it 7? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Undo those screws, you slide it on, and then you rescrew it. Massively strong. It adds a bit of weight, but it's well engineered. That's another view of the spline to break the mast. Gooseneck, different concept, much stronger. And this is a takeoff for a solid preventer. Someone else has got one. solid preventer. I didn't fit it in the end. I just kept with the block and tackle because I ran out of time. I've still got it here in the shed, but it's a solid strut, 2 fiberglass poles. I forget who's got one. Maybe it's I think it's Biggest Monkey. He's got one. So I had one but didn't fit it. And what else we got here? It's another shot of the spline, but that's enough of that. And the same again. These are the cap shrouds coming up. Strengthening plates, 3 bolts with a core inside, so it doesn't compress. And link plates here, toggles and link plates on the attachment for the cap shrouds. That's the taper. You can see how they cut it. They take the material out and bend it all back together again and weld it up, and it looks cool and saves a little bit of weight. These are the 2. That's our Echo Max radar reflector, a 2-stack radar reflector, so that was cool. And I think that's all. This is I'll go back again. That's the 4-stay arrangement here. So you can see some guides for the spinnaker halyards and the 4-stay attachment again with toggles. So it's all free spinning, and you can see up here the cap shrouds are right at the end on the right hand side of that photo. That's where they attach. So it's very traditional but good stuff. That's our gooseneck. I jam off the. This is upside down. If you can flip that over, that's just part of the gooseneck where it goes onto the pivot hinge on the mast. I've got a 4-sheave gooseneck. So you've got all your mainsail control lines freewheeling, and you've got jammers there, so you can take the load off from compressing everything if you wanted to. So it's and massively strong as well. That's the outboard end of the boom. So very cool rig, but at least 2.5 times the price compared to the other. So now I've finished with all that, so I hide that, and it's me. G'day. So I'll quickly go through the comments here to see if anyone's got any questions, and then we can all get back to business. G'day, John. It's my internet or what? The video not look clear. I don't know. It must be yours because in fact I can't see it, but my screen's showing okay. Hi, clear. Okay, clear for you, Graham. Thanks. Hello from Sweden. G'day. Same for me. Okay. Oh, is that blurry? We're saying hi. Clear on YouTube. Oh, it's clear on YouTube. That means it must be okay. I'm not on YouTube. Yeah, that's Jane on Facebook. Good to see Josh is going to try. Yeah, absolutely. We're very happy to see him back. You know, quite often it's an emotional roller coaster when you get going, and I can't imagine what's going through his head. You know, after 4,000-mile drive across the states, and then finally get it all happening, get out there, and then get clobbered with all these headwinds and worried about new sounds and bits and pieces on the boat. It's a big ask, but he's still there, and he's used to that stuff because he's a serious mountain climber guy. Would have been in plenty of scary positions, I reckon. G'day, Warren. Same title to live as yesterday, but I changed it. Oh, why did it do that? That means it's not.
The day changed, okay.
Sorry?
The day is changed.
Yeah, but I changed the words as well.
Oh,
Okay. It's okay. After 22 days, we know what Don looks like. The tracker. Yeah, right. Hello from Ireland. G'day, Ian. Warren, coming from North America. Standard route is go 400 miles east before heading south to avoid the headwinds. Actually, quite right. Isn't that funny? It's obvious. I haven't passage planned. I've never done that voyage, but you're right. If you really do need to get east as far as you can, and then you can cut straight down, and so the angle is better on the bow. Quite right. Thanks, Warren. I've never done that trip. Alenka. Renaud says 7 o'clock tonight. 1900 tonight. Is that UTC or local time? Yeah, it's going to be this afternoon local time. Anyway, who knows? It's there. 35 miles to go. Cool. M&M. G'day, John. As they get closer, I like to use the VMG recent to calculate their ETA. Yeah, obviously, because then it gets more and more. So you're right. I should have swapped over now because it's only so close. Go worship. When will you increase the YB reporting frequency? It's already on. I forget. We changed it from what it was previously, but it's a preset program, and I think you'll find now it's probably come back to hourly. I forget what it is now. We did change it, but it comes, then back to half hourly, and then every 15 minutes, and boom, boom, and just as they're about to cross the line, it's literally bang, bang, bang every minute or something. So watch this space. So that's happening. Fab custom sorted. Yeah, really friendly. I think what we got in 22, we were arriving in 21, in December 21 we arrived, and I think there was a bit of follow over with COVID issues and things like that, so they were being very particular because the doctor had to come down first and so on, but now they're a bit more relaxed, so that's cool. G'day Holly, how is my dad doing on Little Ren? I'm not sure. Yeah, he must be doing okay. The speed's good, but we haven't seen any updates or heard anything. There was a guy that was going to help him do the social media. I don't know whether that worked out, but we haven't heard a lot. But he must be doing okay. So we haven't heard any bad news. So if that makes sense. Jonathan, I know Kerry called his autopilot Audrey, and his photos below Audrey Hepburn story. Wow. Maybe Audrey liked the younger man. You know, he's a sailor. I had a little bit of association with the Navy. I won't go into it, but you know, Navy being Navy, you know, I don't know, no idea. Well, if I remember when we do another update, I'll ask him, what's the story with Audrey? I'm not sure. Really nice you organise this humane customs clearance process. Yeah, prompt access to a freshwater shower, followed by a refreshing cool beer. Something like that. Yes. Ayrton's the man, Rear Commodore. You know what the Rear Commodore usually does, and this is really funny. He's the only one we've announced as a flag officer within the Globe Yacht Club at the moment. There's some more coming. Because the Rear Commodore is usually the guy that organises all the functions like parties and stuff. And if you get to know Ayrton, it's a perfect job for him. He's such a welcoming guy. Long story, but anyway, you'll all get to know him over the next year, I'm sure. G'day, Christine. Good morning from Antigua. You're there. Fantastic. John, are you going out to meet them, Ayrton, Christine, etc.? There's a few variables there. It depends on a lot of things. I leave that to Ayrton. The National Sailing Academy have given us access to a rib. Sometimes it might not be available. Depends on what their program is and things like that. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's a long way from the start line in, so maybe they won't go all the way out there, but they might meet them in the bay. Depends on the weather in Falmouth Harbour and give them a hand, or they could do it all from the marina via radio just to give them advice. I've fully briefed Renaud this morning on WhatsApp, giving him all the bits, even told him the radio frequency. It's funny. He's asked all the questions and he wanted to know radio frequency. So on that one, I just said, it's in the sailing instructions because they're supposed to have a copy of a printed out copy of the sailing instructions, not safety instructions. But after an hour or so, I said, oh, and by the way, it's channel 69. So I told him all the other stuff, Anyway, so he's well and truly organised and sorted. So that's cool. Shannon, how is Josh Carey Ocean Racing doing? Do you also track him closely? Yeah, he's not actually officially involved with us at this stage, obviously. We don't get involved with his qualifier. That's entirely up to them. Once he arrives in Antigua, he sort of signs on for the MGR and go from there. But we follow his tracker. He's got both Josh and Eric got their own tracking sites, and they're in a post on the MGR Facebook page. If you go there, you can find a link to their tracker. And Josh is active. There's something going on with Eric's. We don't have him on our console yet, so we can't chase it. But tomorrow, during normal hours, because it's not an emergency, he's in very close contact to his manager, and they update us. She's been giving us updates virtually every day, just so because he rings in once a day, get their position and so on. But tomorrow we'll just check it with YB and ask them to check battery and signal, see if it's coming through and whether it's a glitch on the tracking page itself. So, but there's no concern. He's underway. The weather's dropped off a bit for Eric, and Josh is quite happy. He put a post up. We shared it before as well. So he should start moving quite well. It's always horrible when you sit there with bashing headwinds and going nowhere, but he's coping pretty well. So fingers crossed. Will the folks in Antigua film finish live or post yesterday's? We haven't set up a live, but we've got photos and videos being taken, and then once they've done that, they'll send it to us probably, and then we'll put it up. We're going to be traveling. We're out of here tomorrow night, and we'll be traveling for 24 hours sort of thing. So we'll reserve our options. We might be off the air for a little bit, but we can keep updating. You can follow the tracker all the way in. So once again, Jane and I wish we were there, but this is the first time it's ever happened. On all our events and all our stopovers and this, that, and the other, we've always been there. But there were some extraordinary factors that sort of stopped us. It's not just budget's consideration, but there's other issues in our life as well. And so we couldn't do this one. We're very happy to have Ayrton there, Rear Commodore of the Globe Yacht Club. Whoop, whoop. Our visitors welcome at the Academy during the competitors' layover. Absolutely. Yeah, they're very friendly, very welcoming. By the time we get there, we'll have all the banners and the flames and all the storyboards and all that sort of stuff. But if you just enter the yard with respect and tread gently, you can work your way down to say good day and meet the entrance, meet people. So it's all pretty cool. That's what I believe the case anyway. I don't think there's any security issues there at the moment, but in the past, there's not that many people there, and it's all kind of fun. Don't you just have to radio in before arriving? Yeah, they do all of that. In fact, I got the official. They have to send us a message to my phone, like a satellite message, WhatsApp usually, when they're 100 miles out, just to check signals. And then we close in from there. When they're 6 miles out, the official side, they have to call Antigua Coast Guard to get approval to enter Antiguan waters. Once they've done that, Ayrton's set everything up for an okay just to come straight in around to Falmouth Harbour. There is a customs clearing berth in English Harbour, which is normally where all the big boats have to go and do all that sort of stuff. But we've got approval to go around to Falmouth Harbour and hang out and walk around and clear customs the next day. So it's really cool. John, I'm guessing Eric and Josh need to do some celestial navigation on their way. Absolutely. It's part of the requirements of the notice of race, the rules of the race, and we went through everything again with both Eric and Josh. All the areas of responsibility. They had to do their pre-safety check before they left, and we made them aware. Remember this, and they all came back and confirmed. So it's all happening. I'm guessing, John, will Ada be heading to Antigua eventually? No, sadly not. So it's going to be just Jane and me and Rob and Ayrton and everyone else there, because we will be the entrance. Everyone chucks in and helps with whatever's going on. But yeah, sadly, Ada's she wanted to come actually, but has some commitments here and can't get out. The timing doesn't work. We offered, anyway, yeah. So Ada won't be here. Georgie can't make it either. She thought she might have at one stage. She wanted to come, but her partner's had an operation in his leg as well, and he's planning his own expeditions, which I won't talk about. He's a great guy. So she's. I haven't heard that she's coming now, even though in regular contact. But she wanted to come. We discussed it for 3 or 4 days a while back, and it might have happened, but it hasn't happened. Okay, that's it. It's enough. So thanks very much, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We will get a tracker up tomorrow, and we'll look forward to seeing the first couple of boats in late today, local time, and later tonight or early morning, the next one for Origami. So let's see if I can hit the right buttons here. I think I can. Now I've got to start that one. Cool.
Witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat.